Well, hi everybody, welcome. Indian Rider Radio, the real-time test ride is underway. Tonight we have settled into Yuma, Arizona. Please welcome my best friend and riding buddy, Riding Fish. What's going on, my man?
Brother, what
How?
a couple of days.
Oh man. You know, the really cool thing here is we have had more fun than humans ought to be allowed to have, and we're only on day two.
We're
Barely
two
on
more.
day two.
Yeah, I am feeling it a little today. We did a lot, I think, in the day today.
Yeah, we covered a lot of ground today. We went from, well, we were in Oceanside. We went over to El Cajon. Great opportunity there. Uh, those guys were a lot of fun. Indian
I
motorcycle
feel,
alcohol were pretty cool. Had a lot of fun with those cats. No question about it. Oh, we got comments coming in already. Oh, look at this. Kelly Prozac says, hello.
well, hello,
Hello.
Kelly.
Yeah. Welcome, Kelly. So, tonight, what did you want to talk about, my man? There was a lot to cover. So where do we start?
Well, I told you we were gonna get close to that border fence.
Right? And we did.
Got,
That was good
we got
times.
pretty close.
Pretty close. I could have waved to Mexican people, you know?
I think we did
Could
wave to Mexican people.
I'm sure of it. Oh god. So let's backtrack a little bit. Um, it's loud in the lobby.
Is it?
Yeah. Tell Sierra to knock it off. We met this lovely young lady who was hosting, who's working at the counter down here at the desk. You're fine,
Here, I'll
bro.
try to. Are you sure? I'll try to find another spot.
Sit tight. So anyway, we went over there. We met Sierra. She's here. But we started this morning at Oceanside. Took a really nice leisurely ride down to El Cajon. Indian Motorcycle El Cajon. If you haven't been in that store, it's really really nice. And we have had a ton of fun, pretty much right along. And it's been great. First, let me start out again with all those guys from Indian Motorcycle. Uh, Big guy named Billy that helped us out in Costa Mesa when we got to the bikes. Super guy, man. Covered everything, got us all squared away, had us rolling in no time, and I think that speaks volumes. I think that was awesome. And then go another step further than that, and everything we've done, we have spent a good time. We've had a great time all the way around.
Yeah,
Everything has worked out well.
absolutely. We've gotten to ride in some traffic a
Right?
little bit.
Yep.
Got to
A little
ride
bit.
some of the Pacific Coast Highway, which is a legendary road.
Yep. Yep.
And
That was beautiful, dude. Down through Laguna, San Clemente, all of that was beautiful. Did you guys? If you guys haven't seen it, tons of pictures on Facebook and YouTube, so check those out.
yeah,
Yep. So,
today we did some border wall and
yep.
some desert running.
So what was? Tell me again what route we were on because we left out of that area on Interstate 8, and then we deviated onto Old Highway 80. Is that right?
Correct, Old Highway 80. It's
Okay.
just on the south side of Interstate 8, and it heads east and west.
Okay.
And there's parts where it's really close to the border wall, and it
Yeah.
goes through it goes through some older towns, Boulevard, Live Oak Springs, Pacumba,
Hmm.
and they were old and upcoming towns back in the day, and then
Yeah.
Interstate 8 came around and it killed those towns. Nobody goes through them anymore.
Well, and you and I were talking about that earlier. Is that the interstate highway system? Bless its heart, it was great. It gets you around a little faster. But those small towns that lived and died by all of the traffic on those in those areas are gone. I mean, and it was beautiful down there, gorgeous area. Guys, I had not been down here. Now, as Riding Fish will tell you, he grew up down in this region, and it was completely different than what I expected. I expected like stark desert, but it's really beautiful. It's gorgeous, and so many areas were so cool. And we stopped at that little, well, you tell them, a little candy shop that you were familiar with.
Yeah, so there's a place called the Candy Cottage in Boulevard, California. Everything's made and dipped by hand. It's amazing, and you'll never know it's amazing because in the middle of nowhere, there was about an hour wait to get into that place. We had
Yeah,
to bounce,
yep.
but
Well, the
we're
place said now on the sign it said they've been making candy there since 1921. 1921.
yeah, isn't that
It's kind of
crazy?
handy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, only Indian motorcycles are older.
I'm going to open up the comments and see what we got. Of course, we saw
Yeah.
Kelly. There is Bearded. Welcome back, Bearded Bobber. Glad to have you along. And who do we have here? Christian. Hi, good to see you guys. Hi, Christian. Mark Schaefer's with us tonight, along with, hi, Manny. Mark Evans hanging out with us, and Kelly Broman. Weather looked fantastic. Kelly, it really was. Upper 60s, low 70s, light breeze most of the day. Actually, very, very nice. I got a little cool tonight. Now, I'm going to tell stories on you a little bit here, Fish. We stopped in and saw Riding Fish's grandma
Yes, we did.
in Imperial, California. And so we came down the last 55 miles or so from there over to Yuma in the dark, and it was a little bit chilly, even at 55 degrees. It was a little cold.
Yeah, it was pitch dark, and it was cold. And it was cold.
Yeah, but that's going to lead me into my first point. These bikes have been amazing all the way around. We did have one glitch, and it happened just in the last couple hours. If you guys are familiar with some of the issues that the bikes had back in 14 and 15 with the cylinder misfire, and they would stumble and they would go into limp mode. Well, not the same, but it was having difficulty deciding what mode it was in, whether it was in standard or sport mode, and so I was having some throttle lag to where it was kind of thumping and bumping a little bit, and we had to take a little time out, figure out what that was all about. I have a call into my son-in-law, Tito Ceballos, at Pikes Peak Indian Motorcycle, who, by the way, hooked me up with a really cool jacket to wear on the ride. I'll tell you more about that, but we got to call into him, see if we get that figured out and understood, and so hopefully that won't be a big deal. So, very cool. So, guys, we are here to answer questions. We're here to do whatever you want to do. Wake the friend, wake the kids, call the neighbors, let them know that we're up, we're here, we're hanging. Okay?
So Mark asked how far we made it. We're in Yuma, Arizona today.
Yep.
So a lot
what
of
was that?
I said a lot of
miles?
pictures. Yeah, it's a
Okay,
couple
yeah.
hundred miles.
Okay.
We kind of went the long way a couple times for photo opportunities, and
Yep.
saw some weird stuff. By the way, I wanted to throw a shout out to my grandma, 95 years old, and
Killing it.
yeah,
Grandma's awesome, by the way. She lives in a cool little house. She's been in the house now 55 plus years. It was one of those old school homes. It was made out of old boxcars. If you like tongue and groove wallboard and that kind of thing, antiquers, you guys would have loved this house. It is absolutely gorgeous. I just fell in love. I like old houses, and that was one I really dug. So I had a good time with that. Thank you for taking me. I really enjoyed it.
well, yeah, thanks. It was a good pit stop. Dinner, we got dinner and visited, so it was good
Yeah.
company. If I say myself.
A lot of fun. So I was going to ask you, what did you think with your machine? Because again, you're a Challenger guy. You've ridden the Challenger. You've now got a couple of 100 miles on that Roadmaster. The first thing you told me is you couldn't live without a trunk now.
Yeah, I have never had a trunk. I've always had the big, carry-on bag or however.
Yeah.
It worked fine. I've never had a problem. But it's one of those things, you don't know what you got. Don't got it.
Exactly.
The trunk is nice. I mean, and I think if I get the opportunity, I'll probably get a trunk now for the Challenger. And I would like to take it on and off. And I don't always want it, but it is really nice
Right.
added feature, And I didn't find it heavy. I didn't find the handling of the bike. And we took some pretty good twisties coming down the grade from Boulevard down to Ocotillo. You drop about 3,500 feet in like 8 miles. So it's a pretty good twisty. And I was flying around those corners, no problem.
Well, the comment I made to you while we were going down the road is that the bike really becomes sort of effortless.
Yeah.
If you're a skilled rider at all and you're familiar with what the motorcycle's doing underneath you, it really is just a dream to ride. Paul Beardsley, how are the lights on the bikes? Well, here's a good comparison. Paul, my motorcycle is same one as his, but I do not have the adaptive headlight. His does. I can tell you this, in the dark, either one of them are awesome. I mean, they lit up the highway in front of us very nicely. I think the adaptive was a little bit better because as we did start to drop into some of those corners and we had to come off the interstate for a few minutes, I could see a little bit more. I was kind of trailing back just a little bit. And your bike does light up the corner just a little bit better as you roll into it. You got a little broader light there. And I think the light reached a little further. It seemed
Yeah.
like it had a little more depth to it. So it's pretty
And I want to
cool.
say, so Paul, I had the same similar technology in my Victory Magnum, JW speaker, adaptive in the corners, and I really loved it. I took that bike, Mount Mitchell and the Smoky Mountains, and it was incredible to watch that light work. And it's very similar to this one, same technology and stuff.
Yeah.
And the brights were reflecting off the sign so bright. I was like, let me just time this a little better next time. So I'm really happy with it. And I even told you, I thought it projected really well into the ditch, into the side. Not that we really have to worry about it here, which is kind of a nice change,
Yeah.
but it really did project really well and on the brights. Even when you and I are riding side by side, I
Yep.
could tell a difference when I flip my brights on.
Yeah, and I noticed too that it didn't spill all the way over into the other lane, but you lit up the line through the center, and you got a little bit of lighting down there. It's a narrow, powerful beam, but it's really nice. It was not uncomfortable to ride in the dark tonight.
Yeah.
So okay, and for me, being a little bit older and wearing glasses, sometimes that is an issue at night. Is it's a little bit difficult. Mark Evans, Yuma today. Where is the goal for tomorrow? Tomorrow, all things being equal, we'll come out of here in the morning. We're going to go to Quartzsite, then up to Parker, Arizona, then up to Lake Havasu, and then the end of day should be in Laughlin, Nevada.
Yes. We're
That's the
hoping
goal,
to.
Mark.
Yeah, that is the goal.
LL, Paul says, too bright. I may have to update.
Yeah.
Upgrade.
Yeah.
No, it really is. It's a nice setup. You would like it. You would like it a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
If I could get that for the challenge, Bobber, he had it on the challenge.
yeah.
It's not supposed to be on the challenge.
Oops.
So yeah, Bobber's a pretty smart, intelligent guy. I have to figure out how he did it. So
Well, the
yeah,
trick is
I
probably
don't know.
go over to his YouTube channel and blow up his comments and find out. Let's go find
True.
out.
Go to Adventures Bearded Bobber YouTube. I'll watch it with you again. Hopefully he's gonna have a
Again.
really good install
Yeah.
video, or By the way, that
And
was so
yeah.
nice. Hey, how awesome was it for Bearded to come down to Indian Motorcycle in
Oh,
Oklahoma?
yeah. Bearded Bomber drops him out. We roll up this morning. He's on the curb already looking for us. Um, that was great.
Help. It helps when we
Yeah.
show up 30 minutes late to our own party.
It's our party. We
My
can be.
fault.
Well, hey, not a bad way to start the day, though. What he hasn't told you is we stayed at his sister's place in Oceanside last night, and they weren't going to let us leave this morning without a home cooked breakfast, and it was marvelous. And the hospitality we received from your family, Fred, awesome. Just amazing people. I'm so glad I got to meet them all. It's been amazing. Kip is my friend in Boise. Glad we're having a blast. A blast is not even describe it properly. We have had three much fun. All I could think about when you guys left El Cajon was that I wanted to go on the ride with you. Well, Christian, come find us, my man.
Yeah, you're so busy working. Oh, how
Oh,
cool was it, a Christian? I was like, hey, I need this bobber out there just for
yeah.
some video. 2 seconds. Okay. Yeah, let's do that right now. So
Christian did a great interview with me too, and I'm going to have that featured with some of the video I shot there, and I'm going to do a little bit more of a profile for the dealership. So watch for that coming to my YouTube channel. And I might have to reach out to Christian and have him on the show. Might
I
have to
think
give him a shout and see if we can do that.
absolutely. I mean, he was intelligent. He was nice. He was lively. You know what? It's kind of the formula they have at Indian Motorcycle of El Cajon. Really.
It really is. You know, one of the things that I always thought was great is that Indians always try to keep that boutique-y feel to the stores and how they kind of feel a little more intimate, a little more personal. That one it's laid out in such a way you walk in, there's just a great vibe. Christian's smiling face shows up there and gives us a big hello. And, I got to love a guy that can do finance and sell at the same time because I'm with you, bro. I did a lot of that. I know what you mean. Scary, but I'm up for it. There we go. Okay,
Hey,
Christian,
done. Check,
I'll make you a pseudo star for an afternoon. How's that?
check.
We can't thank you guys enough. It was so great to stop in and see you, and I got my new El Cajon tea, so I'm happy. I'm good to go. But let's talk about the motorcycles. Um, don't underestimate the Indian Stage One slip-ons
For sound.
for sound. And
Yeah.
I don't know. We'll check the performance on them tomorrow some because we're gonna have some open stretches where we might be able to get that handled. But it's got a rich intermediate sound. They look great on the motorcycle. They are really well made, and between it and the intake and the Stage One upgrade he has, we haven't really gone head to head. We tried it once, but it's a little weird. But we're going to give that more of a look. But I rode behind Fish for a while, day one and again today for a little while. It's a nice sound. They're a good sound and exhaust system, and they look great on that motorcycle. They really look good.
Yeah. So if you like the rumble, but it doesn't have that high next
There you go.
level, it is
Yep.
about perfect.
Yeah,
Because
it's
you've
really.
got that deep rumble. You're almost like, does this have cams? It
Yeah.
does. At
Yeah.
the low idle, has
Yeah.
that weird kind of rumble. And you're like, is this stage two? No, it isn't. It's definitely not stage two.
Yeah.
But it has that. But then Bobber today, he has the Tap Performance
Yep.
Zombies with the two to
Yep.
one to two. His rumble was pretty good too. But then when he
Oh
ripped
yeah.
on it, it's a whole nother
Yeah, it
beast.
makes
Woke the
serious
dead.
noise. Yeah, yeah. There's angry people over the border now because he was out there doing that. Telling you.
Oh
Uh,
man. So that
well,
was they're another
it,
beast. But yeah, I actually enjoy. I think it's a good sound. I haven't
yeah,
complained about it. Maybe a little quiet for me, but man, if this is what I had, this is amazing. It would be great. I wouldn't
yeah,
hate on it.
yeah. It wouldn't be one of those things you raced out to change overnight because
Oh,
yeah, they sound good and they look great. It has the oval new intake on it as well. Not my favorite look, but that thing really kind of fits on that bike. It looks pretty cool. Um, and we were talking about the paint a couple of times today. The Roadmaster Limited with the chrome and these two paint schemes, they're gorgeous.
yeah.
They're
I think
beautiful.
so. I think my words to you today was, I have often hated a little bit on Indians paint jobs. I've always thought they could
Yeah,
go another level.
right.
I think these are right up there with another level. It is
Yeah,
that good. I
the,
really like this, both of them.
well, the crystal one that you have has got that blue flake in it, and when it lights up in the sunlight, it's just amazing.
Yeah.
And the one
I
I'm
call it
riding, this
glitter.
yeah, glitter. You shouldn't brush up against those strippers. That'll happen. But you've got like the one I have now. It has this kind of red hue, but when the light hits it just right, it's got kind of a rust color in it there as well, and it's pretty cool. It's really amazing,
Yeah.
really good looking. Um, the Climate Command seat. Like I said before, I've said it now a couple times. Where has this thing been in my whole life?
Totally couldn't have been. I couldn't have imagined it was going to be as fun as it is. I'm playing with it
Right,
constantly. Yeah.
right.
Hey, my butt feels good. It feels like it should be cold. Okay. I don't
Yeah.
know. And then we did going across the desert. It dropped to almost 50.
Yep.
We're cruising at 70 to 90 ish, 100 somewhere. So we
Say
had some
85 and just get it over with. We'll round to 85.
Yeah, yes, yeah, okay. They were, yeah. And it's not a day of riding if you don't hit a hundo. But we had I went the other way. So wait, let heat this now. I think you told me you turned your grips on too, right?
Oh yeah,
I mean, we
yeah.
have the comforts. We might as well use them.
Well,
I do like it.
I would have to say this. Now, unless I'm missing something in the display there, show me the grip widget someplace other than down in the corner.
Yeah. So my challenger, and I think you said the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, guys, everybody, when you drop your main screen down, you have
Yep.
your grips right
Right.
there. You could touch a screen. Well, for
Yep.
some reason, on both of our Roadmasters that we have, there's no widget for the grips on the screen.
Yeah.
Once you hit the button on the gas tank, then it shows an indicator of where you're at from 1 to 5 or 7 or whatever it
Right.
is. Um, but then it goes away.
Yeah.
It disappears. So yeah, I think maybe there must be an update maybe that these haven't had because I would assume that that widget needs to go on a touchscreen.
You would think so because it's a little awkward because I didn't find it the first time. It was like, oh, I didn't even see it. I missed it completely. Who do we have here? Oh, look, wait a minute. We've got new people joining us, and we have a comment from Steve. If they put the 108 in the Chieftain, would either of you consider? Yes. Okay, let me start with this one because I'm a Thunderstroke fan. Okay, I have not spent a lot of time with the Power Plus. I have ridden the bike. I like it. Everything I've read and experienced with that motorcycle is amazing, and that motor is going to continue to be part of the lineup probably for a long time. Being a Thunderstroke fan, I like the liquid cooling concept. I like that motor. And I don't think you're going to, I think you will see that liquid cooled motor show up in different platforms over time. And yeah, if it was in a Chieftain style motorcycle, I would own it in a minute. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
I would.
I probably wouldn't.
Really?
I would, yep. I think I would rather have the 108 in a Springfield style, only
Okay.
because I already own a Challenger,
Right.
and my biggest thing is, yeah, that one. I don't know. Go ahead and get rid of that one.
Yeah.
I already own the Challenger, and so I feel kind of crammed in this layout a little bit. I could use some
Okay.
highway pegs; it'd probably fix it. Um, But if they brought the look of the Victory Magnum and they called it the Chieftain, we could probably be
Yeah.
sold on it pretty
Yeah.
quick. So I love the motor though. I'm a very very big fan of the motor. I have well over 15,000 miles now on my Power Plus 108, and yeah, Christian, see, he knows.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, I like the Thunderstroke because I like the simplicity of it. I kind of like that old school feel. But again, that Power Plus motor being what it is, it's going to be a lot of fun. Factory 116. What do you think?
I like it. I think it's fun.
Yeah.
Um, it, it I, Tomorrow will be fun. We're going to be in some a little bit more desolate areas,
Yeah.
kind of play with things a little bit more.
Yeah.
Um, I'm really looking forward to that. We were not in the environment to do that today.
Not really.
Um,
No. No. We'll get out and stretch our legs tomorrow some and see what that really
yeah,
does.
yeah. But first glance, I have zero problem with power. You know, we went up a kind of a steep little hill that was not supposed we weren't supposed to be there, but there was happened to be so yeah, and I said it pulls like a tractor right up this hill. So
Yeah.
yeah, I very low end, you can tell. I think they claim 126 feet-pounds of torque.
Yep.
It is torquey on the very low end, and
Yep.
there's no debating that. That's for sure.
Well, even as stock, before mine started acting up just this little bit in this last little while, I was trying to see how, if I could take the rev limiter all the way through each gear. And yeah, it'll extend the front fork. It wants to bring the front end up. It's got a ton of torque. And you can feel
Tomorrow
the
we
rear
try.
end squat as you go, And
Oh yeah,
it's really
when
something.
you when you can just crank out and you can feel suspensions being loaded and held and
Yeah.
pushed, you're doing something.
You're onto something. Yeah.
We're on to something.
We're onto something. Well, speaking of onto something, this is, I mean, we both said it a million times, and this maybe sounds a little, even silly, but yeah, you said it. Don't pinch me. This is like a dream opportunity, and we are having a blast with it. We have had so much fun. Just realizing that this is early December. A couple of guys out of nowhere. Indian gives us two brand new Roadmasters. One set up at the stage one without. We were out there feeling them out, testing them out. And nobody's standing over our shoulder. Nobody's looking over,
No.
No, we're out there just doing it. And I'm so glad that people can come along. I'm glad you guys are with us right now because it wouldn't be the same if we couldn't share it with y'all. This has just been a lot of fun. And as long as I'm doing that, let me thank everybody. And let's start with my friends at Lloyd's Garage and Indian Motorcycle of Charlotte. LloydsGarage.com is all new. Check that out. Always great opportunities there. When you check out what they're going to buy, what you're going to buy your friends for Christmas, ask them too about the 24-hour Big Bore kit. If you don't know, find out about it. Let's talk helmets for a second.
So, dude, you kept telling me this helmet's awesome. This helmet's
Yeah.
awesome. 6D
Yep.
helmet, it's awesome.
Yep.
You sent a picture, and I
Yep.
told you 6D needs you to take their pictures. Then I saw it in person, and I realized your picture sucked too.
Kind of,
It is
yeah.
a great looking. I'm really jealous of this helmet. We took it apart yet last night to get some
Yes, we
comp put
did.
in,
Yep.
and by we I mean you. And I kind of played it back and forth.
Yeah. Where does this wire go?
Yeah. It goes like this. Okay, bye. But yeah, the insides all seem so well made. It went back together. The construction of it. The
Yeah.
only thing was, I don't know. We had an issue with the visor for like 2 seconds, snapping it back in.
Snapping it back in. And that was really operator error because I just didn't have
Okay.
the little releases pulled all the way back. I only got about halfway and I was trying to stick it in there. So, yeah, with the releases pulled all the way back,
That's what
pop
she
them
said.
in, lock them down. Yeah, well, more than once. but the beauty of it was that let me first point out, you guys know I wear helmets and I've done it for a long time and I ride behind a fairing and a windscreen. And a lot of them, if they don't really have a really good brow channel there or vent, they won't vent behind there. This thing draws a ton of air in. It cools right now. It fits like it's been mined forever. No hot spots, no nothing. The audio system went in it seamlessly. I mean, it was so easy, it was almost ridiculous. And the helmet is surprisingly light because it's carbon fiber. And by end of day, if we had ridden like we had today, we were on and off, getting the helmet on and off. By end of day, I would have been tired of the damn thing. But
Yeah.
it didn't bother me at all. Didn't bother
Yeah.
me at all. And it's got a great look. It is well built. And I can't stress this enough, you guys, and you've all heard my speech, but helmet protection is now gone off the scale. This is a completely different system, and if you wear one just simply so you're not getting the wind or the rain on your face or you're trying to stay warm, knock yourself out. That's entirely up to you. If you wear a helmet so that you don't wreck your brain, that's the only one I think that's out there. It's just amazing.
So I think it's a little different than that. It's not okay. Let's talk. We don't have to say safety,
Yeah.
but the other parts of comfortability that you're getting. You
Oh.
instantly told me when the temperature dropped, you're like, I should close this. And I'm over here like, yeah, I'm gonna keep mine open a little longer because it's
Right.
not quite the same venting.
Yeah.
And so with the quality you're getting, hopefully nobody has to use the accident protection part,
Right.
but the lightweight, that's a comfort.
Yep.
The breathability, comfort, ventilation, comfort.
Yep.
So you're getting all of those, and I'm getting no wind noise from your mic, you
Yeah.
know. So it's been really well. So even if you don't say, okay, I'm not going to ever wreck, well, why have a sore head, a hot brain, sweating
Yep.
everything?
Yep.
That's the part that I think really makes the difference with that helmet. And then it looks really good. The
Yeah. So,
carbon fiber glistening in the sun today. I'm like, holy shit, I should have got a white smoke.
yeah.
You
Where's
weren't
mine?
lying. Oh,
No, it's true. It vents amazing, and I always test them against a windscreen or behind a fairing, and man, what a difference! Great thing. And I don't want to forget our friends at Tap Performance, and I also don't want to forget mentioning our my son-in-law Tito for hooking me up with that jacket. I'm wearing the brand new Indian Atlanta men's jacket. And for this 60, 70 degree temperature day, perfect. Absolutely perfect. T shirt, the jacket, you're good to go. It was very comfortable to wear and ride in. Um, What was your you being the challenger? And I've deliberately not asked you this question all day. Compare the two: the Roadmaster now that you're riding, and your Challenger. Your Challenger is your baby. You love that bike. You like the way it behaves. You like the performance of it. Side by side, what do you think?
I don't want to sound super biased. So I'm going to just say a little bit of what we've done. We've done a few hundred miles. We're in like the 400 range or whatever.
Yeah,
I'll do a much better video on this, an actual comparison video, thoughts made out a little more.
yeah,
But real quick, one of the things that I am very impressed about is how similar the suspension is between the two.
yeah,
They're I've always said my Challenger is on another level. The suspension is that's probably really loud. No.
no, you're fine. You're
Okay,
fine.
so the suspension on the Challenger is on another level. And so when I was riding the Roadmaster today, we kind of found ourselves on some unkept roads. And holy,
I don't think anybody's fixed that road since they paved it. Frankly, it was
probably
brutal. It,
it,
it was
it
a
was
rough
bad,
road.
dude.
Yeah,
Yeah, and its suspension was very good.
yeah,
And I thought that it wouldn't be quite as good because it doesn't have inverted forks, and the rear suspensions they're very much similar. The frames are similar. We already know that, but
yeah.
I was very impressed with the ride of the suspension. The
Yep.
motors are kind of different beasts.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
it's the old school to new school, right? And we can talk
Yeah.
about that. Doesn't mean that theirs is bad. It's just different. I ride hard. I like to ride higher RPMs. So my riding area and the RPM and power range is a
Mm-hmm.
little different than where the Thunderstroke wants me to be. So today I
Right.
found myself what I would consider short shifting, instead of bouncing
Okay.
off the rev limiter. So, but it likes it. But it likes it. So it
Yeah.
did good. We did okay. We did okay with it. I just feel cramped. That's my only complaint about the Roadmaster and about the Chieftain is just from a stretched out thing where the way I sit on the Challenger is much more stretched out.
But we're
And
sitting on the stock seat, and they make a big point of saying now that if you're much taller than you're what 6'1" ish,
only
six
six,
foot.
yeah.
Okay.
I tell the girl 6'3".
Yeah. So I'm 5'8", 5'9". I got tall heels on or whatever. But the extended reach seat may be your answer. That may be the answer because those are
So
not extended reach seats on those.
yeah, hang on. If I'll deal with a little crampiness to have
Yeah.
that climate controlled seat. That's how good that seat is.
Yeah. I would.
No, that's a trade. Give me a pair
Yeah.
of highway pegs, and I'll take that climate controlled seat because it's that nice.
Oh, no question. That the idea that you can actually cool it and that it's not like it's either hot or cold. I loved and I like the way it fits and feels too. That's something that I. Okay, and let me back up to Mark. We're going to come to your question. Don't I won't leave you hanging on that. The answer is it works great with glasses. Absolutely works great. Enough said.
Well, they have slits. You pointed
Yeah,
out when we were they
yeah,
literally. So, Mark, there's two pads. A pad comes here, and then a cheek pad, right? Was that how it was?
yep.
And they made a purpose slit so you don't have to like wiggle and jam. Which, by the way, I have some really nice glasses that Tito hooked me up with,
Yeah.
down at Pikes Peak. So I love my glasses. You know how many times I've gotten glasses and they instantly cause headaches? And
Oh,
I love these
yeah.
glasses. They look great.
Yep.
Can't wear those while I ride because my helmet, it's not the glass, it is the glasses, but it's the fitment of the glasses with my helmet.
Yep.
We all know I
Yep.
use an Icon helmet.
Yep.
And there's no slot for my glasses. Again, and I
Yeah.
always wear glasses, right? Have you ever seen me wear it? I always wear
You
glasses.
always have your clears on. Yeah,
I
you always do.
always have my clears. Yeah.
Yep. And no, it works wonderfully. Uh, in fact, surprisingly so, because I've had so many helmets that I've loved. And I'll give you a perfect example. I bought a Bell Star racing helmet. and loved the look of it. I loved the fit of it. I could not get glasses in it to save my life. If I was going to wear it, I was going to wear it blind. And that was the
And you
most
need
disappointing $500 I ever spent.
and you need glasses to save your life.
I kind of do, yeah.
Technically,
Yeah, yeah. I
yeah,
walk
those
around
go
by
together.
braille otherwise. Yeah. Oh, look. Uh, no, not like that. We,
JT Southern Fried. He's one of the moto vloggers that I got to hang out with
all
in
right.
Sturgis.
Oh,
So
yeah, yeah. You were
yeah,
telling me about it. Yeah. Hi,
yeah,
JT. Um, yeah, I was. Let me go back to the new seating position. I had a thought there about if you're familiar with the conventional old school, older cheap Roadmaster seat, the diamond stitch seat, it is more of a bucket or a saddle, okay? And it takes a little while to get itself dialed in, but once you sit in there and get settled in, it's pretty comfortable. This seat, though, right from the jump, was ideal.
yeah.
Really
So
was.
the
I
so
don't
the
know why
Roadmaster I
Siri is
had.
telling me things I don't need to know. Bye, Siri. But it
So
worked
my
wonderfully.
yeah, my Roadmaster had 200 miles on it. That means that seat had no more than 200 miles on it,
Yeah, yeah.
and there's no break-in period. I haven't complained not one time
Nope.
about my seat. There's what is it? Is it 1,200 bucks? How much is
Yeah,
this seat?
12, 1,300 bucks, something like that.
Man, can you
But
PayPal 0 interest for 6 months that? Because it would be worth every bit.
oh, every time,
I mean,
every time.
yeah, it is that nice. Like,
And
you
guys,
know,
yeah. And if your wife or girlfriend rides with you fairly often, or somebody's on the back seat, it's still wide enough. It's still big and broader back there, which was not the, which is usually not the case when they make those specialty seats. They narrow the back down and they chintz out on the passenger end. Not the case.
also
It was really wonderful. Yeah.
the passenger seat is also heated and cooled
Yeah. Oh
on
yeah.
its own. So say you have a hot ass,
Yep.
no, you would have a cold ass, and
She
the
has
other
a
would
hot
have a
ass.
hot ass. That's
Okay.
right. You could heat yours and warm hers, or
Well, mine
vice
would need some
versa.
heating. I'm just saying, mine would need some
Yeah.
work.
By the way, dude, I just said heat yours and warm her. I don't know what I'm talking about. You could heat yours and cool hers. You can't cool her. That's why. That's probably
Steve.
why.
Well, it's been a long day, man. We're lucky we're even speaking intelligently at this point.
Yeah.
But
Sorry, guys. Yeah, I
yeah,
haven't had coffee in hours. I had. It's been a day. I mean, we've done some great. Yeah, yeah. I know. I got sent to the lobby.
you didn't get sent. You volunteered.
Oh, dude,
Don't even lay that out there like that. Come
we
on
had
now.
some technical difficulties, and we figured maybe our friendship is better Wi-Fi. You got mail.
Hey, check out. Hey, look. No. So let's look ahead to tomorrow, and because it's now how long? I don't know how long we've been in here. What time is it? We've only
About
been
40
here
minutes.
40 minutes. We got about another 20 minutes. We'll stay. We'll roll for another 20 minutes.
Okay.
But tomorrow we're going to go up to Quartzsite and up Highway 95. Now this takes us up through the proving grounds. It takes us out through a bunch of different areas that are pretty remote. So between some of the video we shot today, some of the photos we got, and the ones we expect to do tomorrow, wow, should be a lot of fun. Should be super fun because we will be able to get out there and stretch our legs a little bit and really see what these things are about. I can tell you this, and I don't even know why, and I mentioned it to you. The bike has a light feel. And now some guys are telling me, or have tried to tell me, that that's strictly that 19-inch front wheel with the different tire profile. The Michelin Cruise Tech tire, or the Metzler Cruise Tech tire, excuse me. Wow, it's sticky, it's nice, but it doesn't overdo it. Still get a lot of road feel without it being too much. And I think it does make the steering feel just a little bit lighter and quicker. And I don't know if that's just by feel or not, but it was really something.
You know that's the same one that they put on the Challenger last year. You know that?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I've told you multiple times I've never had more confidence in a tire.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Rain, dry. We were kind of ripped. We had them gravel spots, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
Not that gravel's easy to ride in, but it's just the traction is not what I'm thinking about. Gravel's pretty bad, but you understand what I'm saying.
I do.
It,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, that tire is incredible. And the Challenger, people are telling me because when I had to replace my tires, um, they're like, you can get a cheaper tire. I don't care. I'll pay an extra $100
Yeah.
to keep the confidence that I have in these tires. So
Well, I like the way they're built. I like the way they feel. They're not noisy on the road, which is something that I know people don't pay much attention to it, but it's something that sometimes sticks out to me. You go out and you spend a crap ton of money on this tire on the bike, and all of a sudden you have this humming noise all the time or something like that. Not the case at all with these. I mean, it was just amazing. I think people have dropped out on us. They must everybody. Well, we're pretty much now East Coast. You guys are all probably in bed. But
yeah,
West Coast, we were talking to you. So we're looking at any new. We have a private message. Okay, that's
no,
from you. You sent me a
that was
private
me.
message.
I
Is
was
that
yeah, I
what?
was like, bro, this is some real shit right here.
Well, it's been a ton of fun, you guys. I mean, everything we've done so far has been awesome. And I didn't know this when I mapped out the plan to ride down here. I knew that you were from, Central South Cal, Southern California, but I didn't put two and two together. But hanging out with your sister, meeting your grandma, visiting those towns, you talking about your growing up. Did you know that my friend here got into a fight with a kid in some grocery store and then they kicked him out of school for a while? Oh, Paul's still hanging with us. He's the East Coast, still repping.
Oh,
That
there
a
we
boy.
go.
That
There
a
we go. Look
boy.
at Mark.
Yeah, Mark's like, no, it's 2 a.m. here. They're closing the bars and sending us home.
Oh, yeah. So yeah, first of all, they did kick me out. So that's a story we could save for another day. I don't know.
Another day, but
If I
but we
could go
were.
back and do it again, I would hit them harder. But whatever, that's just
It's
not.
cool. We understand. I get it. I know. It's not a bad thing. I didn't say it was a bad thing.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But
Right.
I'm Mr. Nice Guy these days. Say hi to somebody you don't know and be
Right.
cool. But that guy was an ass, so he deserved it.
He had it coming. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we all go through those periods, don't we? All right.
Yeah.
Hey guys, we're looking for questions for you too. I mean, you've got to have questions about the bikes. You've got to have questions about the ride. We are happy to answer them. And like I said, we shot a ton of video. This guy's going to have more content than you're going to know what to do with. I've met some awesome people that I hope to have as guests on the show, and some of the things that I'm going to bring to YouTube. Certainly not what you're going to find from Righty Fish, but as you know, I like to do interview style stuff. I like to do preview style stuff, and you will see it that way. I've got some great things for you to see. We took a ton of pictures. One of the places that was absolutely fascinating. What is that building called? What is that thing called? We went out to
The Desert View
the
Tower.
Rock Tower,
Desert View Tower.
Desert View Tower. Okay.
Correct.
It's been there forever, and I took a photo of the placard there as to what it was all about. And that was a stopping point for guys that had, um, well, there was, at the time when I guess when they were doing this, there was like stagecoaches and oxen, teams and that kind of thing. And that was a stop point because it was the easiest way to get from certain parts of Mexico up into that region. And they used it as a stopping point. But what was really fascinating, tell them, these people just, somewhere along the line, there were just squatters.
Dude, I
They're
don't
just
understand.
people out there.
We turn around and we're coming up to the spot that I had told you about. I gave you some pre-talk that I thought it
Yeah,
was
yeah.
beautiful scenery, overlooking the desert like giant. And I'm
Beautiful.
like, is that a statue of a alien?
Yeah,
Are those
right?
motorcycles with statues? Dude, and it looks like it's squat land out there. I don't know what it is.
Yeah,
Everybody had legit satellite dishes facing the sky. I don't know if it was Mr. Aliens got
right,
together or dude, Men
right.
in
And,
Black.
and motorhomes that predate the word Winnebago. and just kind of this whole weird vibe out there. And he says, "You want to go up and meet somebody we don't know?"
Hey,
No,
dude.
not right now.
Dude, hey, I was down. I would have done it.
I know
I
you
would
would
have
have.
walked it. I mean, I interviewed. Hey, we interviewed. I'm gonna put it in my next video.
Okay.
But those bikers,
Bicyclists, yeah.
yeah,
They had started
bicyclists,
where? Yeah, where did they
Michigan
start? Yeah,
and
on their way
Michigan.
to San Diego.
Yeah, they're almost done. Still happy. What is that
Oh,
about?
yeah. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. So anyway, that
Ride a
would be
bicycle.
yeah, that little interview conversation. The three of us will be on a bike.
That's
So
super cool. Right
or
on.
on the next
Yeah,
video.
yeah. And, they were talking about how, riding bikes that far. Well, I said, well, yeah, our bike is a little different, but it's the same feeling. Same feeling.
Did you
What
see
was
that?
it?
I bet their seat doesn't get heated and cooled. That's all I'm saying.
Good
It
point.
definitely does not.
How was the longest ride? Paul wants to know something here. What was your longest ride of the day? Well, we've been stopping and starting and stopping and starting. It has to do with fuel economy, I guess is the question. 111 and 116 fuel burn. Okay. The 111, I normally I'm getting, with the true dual on there, I get right around 46 miles to the gallon. I think this was just a little over 42, about 42.4, I think is what we wound up with. So almost no difference, Paul.
Paul,
So
just get to
I,
116.
yeah, because here's what's going to happen, Paul. I have a 111 at home with true dual headers, freedom exhaust, intake. It's going to get a cam kit pretty much the day I land because I've now discovered I like it. I like it.
You might want to ask Lloyd about that 24-hour big bore kit.
Right? Yeah.
But seriously, Paul, it comes down to smiles per mile. All
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Okay, and the 160 produces more. So
Yeah. What I really enjoyed about that, you don't feel like it doesn't feel awkward. It doesn't feel like it's too much. It just works. It's a great setup for that bike. Yeah.
yeah, it does run really good. I don't feel like I need more power. That's an oxymoron, but
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
I have rode bikes where I'm like, yeah, this needs to scoot just a little bit better,
Right.
but I don't get that feeling right now.
Paul, you're pulling down what 40, 42 on a stock 111. Okay. Yeah. Well, you're probably maybe a bigger guy than me, 42, depending on where you are elevation wise. Keep in mind that I get a little better mileage at 6,000 feet than you do at maybe 500. Okay. So what do we got here? Riding a 116, getting 42. That's, yeah. See, Tom, yeah. And the 116, 42, 43 is pretty much standard what I hear from people. Tom Jackson. Tom and I met back in 2017 in Boise, Idaho. And he rolled up there one day to pick up a motorcycle. Hello, Tom. Good to see you, man.
So, Paul, I think what Paul might want to do is realistically, Paul, if you kind of want some fuel economy, you could get it tuned like a power
Yeah,
vision,
yeah,
and you could get more performance and better fuel economy with just a good tune. And it relatively is not that expensive. So you'd get more power and better. Normally, you get better fuel economy for
hmm,
just like a power vision tune. So something to think about in your area if you are a little worried and you count the miles. I count the smiles.
right. Hey, Paul, I got a quick question for you. What are you paying per gallon for fuel wherever you live? He's just if Lloyd's is just up the road, you're on the East Coast someplace, right? Okay, so Paul, hook me up with the answer to that. What is the average fuel cost per gallon around where you're at? Because you're going to get blown away when you find out just how much they want to charge you here in California for gasoline. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. I even had to point it out, and I don't talk about fuel prices because I have to buy it either.
Yeah,
This is a
you got to
little
buy
bit
it
hard.
anyway. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
but we rolled into that one place out in the desert, and you ready for this? What was it? 411.
$4
411
11 cents.
a gallon. I left Colorado Springs, and it was maybe 199 to 205, depending on how generous I wanted to be for myself.
Hmm.
So anyway, worth
Yeah.
checking out.
So that one's in the Imperial Doom. So what they're doing, they're killing all the Polaris Razor riders.
Yeah. Oh, sure, sure. Christian's got to make fun of me.
Oh,
226. That's Paul. 226 at home. 275 out of town. That makes sense. Mississippi, buck 75. What do we got? Oh my God! And then Christian says, "Oh, you don't like paying $4 for premium? Not when I could buy
so
it for two."
about that EFTR.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I think we got to talk. We got to talk a little more live wire-ish here lately.
Oh,
Yeah. And see, and Paul makes a good point too. You can get the 93 octane in a lot of places where here most everything is 91. Don't let that fool you either, because some of those blended fuels, when they use ethanol, that bumps the octane number up a little bit, but you don't necessarily get a better burn out of it. So, don't let that necessarily fool you.
yeah, you need
Um,
to have it tuned. You need to have it
yeah,
tuned for the mix. If you're gonna run
yeah,
mixed, having a good tune makes all the difference.
yeah. Yeah. Well, Christian, they do have one at El Cajon. They do have one right there by the Christmas tree that I took some great photos of, and I sat on, and I got to get one of them bad boys. I have got to get myself one of those.
So you could ride it down your hill. You couldn't
Yeah,
ride it up though.
I'd have to carry it home.
You'd have to carry it. Deborah, come pick me up. But down the hill would be
Yeah,
some pretty fun stuff. I rode mine. I rode my daughter's. It's not my bike; it's hers. I rode
yeah.
it around the block, and we have a slight hill. I'm a little bigger than you though, and it doesn't have quite the torque to pull me up the hill. But I'm running 230 right now, so
Well, yeah. Well, then I live on the side of a mountain, so I don't have much choice with that one. Yeah, downhill would have been all I get.
yeah.
Christian says, "Yeah, I got one. I would let you ride it."
I
Okay,
told
all
you. I
right.
tried to get you to ride it. I wanted to get video of it. I kind of forgot. I was having so much fun, BSing with Brian, and
Yep,
I went and checked out Motor World.
yep,
Um, they have their whole off-road area and stuff like that. We got some merch or whatever.
yep.
It I got distracted and I forgot that my goal was to make you ride an EFTR. So
All right. I'll
so
ride
maybe
one yet.
Redlands, you're
Don't you
gonna have
worry.
vision.
I will ride one yet. I will.
Okay,
I will make
okay.
that happen. Don't you worry.
Uh,
Well, we're coming up at the end of our hour here, guys, and I want to make sure that we have an opportunity to answer questions for you. If you have any comments, things that you want us to look into for you, I can tell you this. You know, with the Indian motorcycle, you're working on such an amazing platform. The suspension systems and the geometry of the bike already push it past most of what you're going to find in the marketplace. But I can tell you that that bike, as a, if you've ever thrown a leg over a new ultra classic or ultra limited or something of that nature, or anything that Harley Davidson's making, and I'm not really throwing stones, I'm just telling you there's a noticeable difference. And the difference is that the Indian provides you with a lighter feel, quicker steering, um, equal or superior storage capacity on a bike that does not feel heavy. The Roadmaster feels leaner. It's built leaner. And again, I'm 5'8", 5'9", buck 75. The one of the complaints I had today though, and I had the same one with my 19. I'm just going to say it. Take that stock windscreen off and throw that thing right the hell out. For my height, it is the wrong height. It is the wrong angle. It's the wrong everything. I get
so
glare off of it. Yeah.
is it too big? Is it too big for you?
Well, first, it's not optically correct. So if it's up, I have to look through it. And I
Right.
don't like looking through them. I would
There's
rather look just
distortion.
over them. Yeah.
Yeah.
Second,
So to
there's no sweet spot for me. All the way down is about as comfortable as I could get, and then it's just below my sight line. And while it's just below my sight line, I then get light flares off of it.
so I have the Indian flip on mine. So
Yeah.
tomorrow you should try it out. I don't
Yeah.
love it. I think it's too low, but then I'm taller
Okay.
than you. So
Yeah.
maybe tomorrow we'll switch. So
Okay.
we'll have a perspective of what the Indian flip is for a person your height, and then
Right.
what the stock, what would you call it, a tour, a mid maybe?
Yeah,
The,
it's a
the
tour
whatever
height.
the yeah, the mid tour, what that one is for my height. And
Yeah.
I think that would be a good idea.
Well, I think I told you on my 19 I put the 13.9-inch tinted one on, and down I think it really adds to the look of the bike. It's a little more compact. It makes a cleaner, more uniform line for the fairing, and it fits me well. All the way up is just right. All the way down is really cool because it's got a neater profile, and none of the sun flares, and I don't have to look through it. So that was one of those things that yeah, I would shit can that right away. I would throw that out and start over. Tom says that Clockworks is one that has always had a lot of success with it. And the Indian
Everybody
Mountain
likes
Rider
it.
here asking me a little bit about any new features for 21% seat.
Yes.
Um, yes, the ride command's laid out a little different. The oh, I like what they did with the clutch.
Hmm.
I
The clutch
really
assist.
like that. Now, I for years when I was on the showroom floors, I would tell people, well, they'd say, well, it doesn't have the Harley hydraulic clutch. Well, I've never liked hydraulic clutches in the strict sense of the word. They were always a little. The sweet spot was always fairly narrow. There was the in or out. There wasn't a lot of play. That engagement point. This clutch feels light, but it still gives you a lot of feedback. And slow speed maneuvering on that motorcycle is a breeze. It's amazing.
Hmm.
They did change a few other things. The head, obviously, you've seen this where they not the insert over the end of the exhaust where it mounts into the head. The cylinders look more clean and uniform. The pipe is just a little bit different the way it mounts in.
Yeah,
The
people were
clutch is
telling me the
amazing.
yeah, the people were telling me the flow is different.
Yeah.
The actual exhaust flow is different because the head,
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
all angling much better. The clutch is a clutch assist. It's the same one they put in the Challenger.
Mm-hmm.
So now they both have the same clutch.
Yep.
And besides the feel and all that, it
Yeah.
is significantly less pull. It's less
Yeah.
tiring.
Yeah. It
I
really
mean,
is.
yeah, when I rode your Springfield up and down in Sturgis,
Mm-hmm.
it didn't take long, and like, oh, it's been a while since I had to
Uh,
pull the
uh.
clutch.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
yesterday when we were lane splitting, we did a little lane splitting.
Yep.
We were all in on that clutch, and
Oh
there
yeah.
was no fatigue, no clutch fatigue on the hand. So it
Yep.
makes a big difference, I
It
think.
really does. And again, usually when they take when again, and I'm old enough that that the cable clutch always had it gave you a lot of feedback. Especially when you're trying to finesse it through the sweet spot. This one gives you the same feedback, but it's not heavy and hard. It was a lot of fun to use. I'm going to enjoy the daylights out of it, and
Yeah.
guarantee you that. Okay, guys, we're pushing it right up to the top of the hour. We are at the top of the hour. So we have spent 60 minutes with you here live on the Riding Fish YouTube channel and here on Facebook with me. And I, the other thing I'm overwhelmed by, one, having this opportunity is incredible. Having my friend with me is amazing. This has been just awesome. But so many of you and great people again, like Lloyd's Garage and India Motorcycle Charlotte, Pikes Peak India Motorcycle, Tab Performance, 6D, making this possible. And the guys from El Cajon gave us a little something something for lunch. We got a little lunch
Right.
money, for dropping by,
They
and
were
it's appreciated.
listen. They're very supportive. They
Yeah.
supported me a lot last time I was here.
Yep.
Um, they're kind of what we say. They want to grow the community,
Yep.
and they're all about writing programs. And come check them out. And
Yep.
and I really enjoy them. Just hanging out was fun.
It
So
really was. Yeah.
yeah,
And I don't know the gentleman's name. It slipped my mind completely. But we sat there at the table in the back by the coffee and talked a little bit. And he's a my dad was in the Marine Corps and he'd been in the Corps and so anyway, long story short, I enjoyed meeting that gentleman. If you see this, sir, it was fun talking to you, and I hope we get together again. My friend Kip says ride safe tomorrow. David's in Mississippi and knocking it out at 1 o'clock in the morning. That a boy. That insomnia sucks, though. Isn't that a bitch? Okay. and
He's been waiting
and
for
Mark,
us.
and Mark says have fun. Fish, parting shot, parting thoughts, anything?
No, you know what, guys? I think we got a good groove today. We got two more really fun days,
Yep.
and probably even some new footage opportunities, which we're gonna get tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Gonna get that
And
tomorrow.
we have. I'll tell you what. I know this guy can shoot video. I've not seen him do it this way ever. You got a lot. You laid down a lot of stuff. You've had a lot of. It's just been amazing all the way around. And if you were riding with us, we would have pissed you off by now because we were stopping all the time.
I
I
think there
mean,
was there was 5 times where we got on the bike and got off less than 5 minutes,
less than 5 minutes.
and
Yeah.
every stop is 15 minutes. You
Right.
know,
Yeah.
so it's been, yeah, Big Gabe and all our boys, Tito. They'd have been like, okay, guys, meet us at
Yeah.
the finish line.
We got places to go. What are you cats doing? But no, it's been a lot of fun. And I'll add one other thing. It's more beautiful down here than I thought it was. I mean, visually, there's just some stunning stuff that we saw. You guys would enjoy the ride. It would be a lot of fun to have you along. All right, that's going to wrap it up. So for Riding Fish and for all of the friends and people that have helped us out, let me run it down one more time. Lloyd's Garage, they have a brand new website. Check them out at lloydsgarage.com. Check out India Motorcycle Charlotte. When you call, you're going to talk to Amanda. Tell her we sent you. And then my friends at Tab Performance, 6D helmets. You guys are killing it. I'm wearing your stuff and I'm digging it. Pikes Peak India Motorcycle and Riding Fish for all making this possible. Guys, thanks so much. We're going to catch up with you on the road. See you soon. So,
Manana.
Manana, we're going to do this again. Do you want to
Manana.
get up early or are we going to stay late?
We're getting up early. No, let's get up
Okay,
early.
I was afraid you were going to say that.
Hey, I don't
All
want
right,
to. I
guys.
don't want to sleep too long. I may wake.
That's right. All right.
All right.
For Riding Fish, I'm Curtis Saywer with Indian Rider Radio. This is the Real Time Test Ride. It continues tomorrow, so don't miss a thing. Come back and see us.